I'm Lorraine Fiorello, reporting to you today from the Scarsdale Public Library. We're here at the Scarsdale Friends of the Public Library book sale, and there are books everywhere you look. And if you think there are a lot of books out here, you should see what's going on inside. Come on, let's take a look.
Kathy Steves is the director of the book sale, and she has been kind enough to take us through this elaborate process from start to finish.
We officially start taking books in July 4th or 5th, and we collect until the third week in August. All of the books are marked A or B, except the one some of them are marked A and B, as this one is. This will be the transition box. So
What does A and B mean?
A is more saleable. It might have a dust jacket on it. It might be a newer, more popular title. Sometimes we have 3 or 4 copies of like Unbroken, which is very important. So we have 2 on the table now, and we'll have another 2 or 3 in different A boxes. So as the books sell, we'll just be able to reach into a box and put the book on the shelf. So none of the people that I call runners will have to move any boxes. They will just reach into a pre-sorted box, take a good book, and put it on the table.
So from the second the books come in, what exactly is the process?
They usually get put on a truck, and then we have people just literally sort them by category. We sorted them by category in July in the basement because the Scott room is heavily used in July. And then we box them downstairs, and then when we do get the room, which is at the beginning of August, those boxes come upstairs and are opened, put on tables while we still get more donations.
Considering how many books they get in, just how many people does it take to get this done? I mean, how many volunteers are there?
Since July, we've probably had about 30 or 40 different volunteers. We probably have a dozen that this is their full-time summer job. They are tremendously loyal. They'll come in 2, 3, 4 days a week, working several hours every day.
Wow.
To do it. So we couldn't do it without the volunteers. The first year I did it, sale was much smaller. I did it almost by myself. I had a couple of volunteers who came in occasionally, but it has just grown tremendously in the last few years. So without the volunteers who look forward to it. I mean, I see them at Christmas parties and they said, can't wait for July.
It seems like there's even more books donated this year than any of the previous years.
And the reason I can tell that is we ran out of boxes. We had to buy almost 150 more boxes to pack up the books that you don't see on the tables and underneath them. So we ran out of boxes a week or so ago, and we had to order more.
There are books as far as the eye can see. And today we got a chance to talk to Dina, one of the volunteers who's helped putting the Friends of the Library book sale together.
So, may I have another box?
You've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
And you tell me the first time you came in here, what happened? Tell me about that.
Well, we were not quite at this point. Kathy was not quite at this point. I hadn't started yet. And I walked in and kind of poked my head around, and Kathy and I are neighbors, so I saw her in here, and I knew she was doing this. And I looked around, and she was very excited, and she said, "Oh, hi, come on in. Doesn't this look wonderful?" And it was one of those moments of discretion, and I thought to myself, wonderful? To me, this looks like the room has exploded. And that was all I could think of, was how does this ever get organized? And then Kathy worked her magic. And little by little, it turned into the book fair that year. And I was hooked. So it's fun to see what people choose, how excited people get about particular issues. Sometimes it's, they're following a current fiction author, and they've bought 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever of those books that they have not yet read or they bought for gifts. And somebody else will get really excited about some esoteric philosophy book that they were able to find here. And I'm thinking to myself, what are the chances? What are the chances that somebody interested in this esoteric topic would be here on the day that we have that book out and they found it? Vertical dust.
What's vertical dust? Now, what's vertical dust? Let me see this.
So I can understand dust being on this part of the book.
Like everything in my house.
But when there's actually a layer of dust here,
Oh dear.
you know that it's been a while, and here are the books that they have brought to us.
What kind of books are you getting today? Let me see.
Let's see, where did I put it? Chocolate, The Consuming Passion. This is a classic from...
Oh, that's great. It's got some great
Yeah,
cartoons. She's a
Sandra
cartoonist,
Boynton,
right?
That's right, illustrator, 1982.
That's great. I see
And
you've
it's
got
brand new, yeah.
Yeah. How do you find the quality of the books here?
Excellent, yep.
Have you been here before?
Yeah, second or third year.
Oh, wow. You from Scarsdale?
No, out of the area, but we come up here because it's a great sale.
And the extra books that don't get sold?
The day after the blowout sale, we start giving them to charities. We have a list that people that come back year after year, hospitals, schools. We give them to librarians.
Kathy, how much?
$3. All the hardcover books are $3, and then it goes down from there. We're $1.50 for this size.
Why is the dust jacket so important?
A book without a dust jacket is probably worth 10% of a book with a dust jacket. So that can be an issue. So don't throw out your dust jackets. And take off the dust jacket while you're reading the book so you don't rip it.
Okay.
Can you show us a book that's really special?
All right, this is a book by Marc Chagall, and it actually includes original lithographs.
Oh, wow.
So this is an original Chagall lithograph, and we have 3 of his books with original lithographs in them. So those are several $100s.
Yep, there's an app for that.
Some book dealers have scanners where they can tell immediately if they have the book in their collection already, or they can, by scanning it, they can add it to their inventory as they box it.
And what about the kids?
We have a huge collection of children's books that are really very well pre-sorted by age group and some by categories. So there's some nonfiction categories, and they're also shelved by series. So if you want the Wimpy Kid series, you can find them all together.
Well, Dad, what's your favorite reason to come to book
Oh,
fairs?
well, I love teaching Eliana about old books and about all the different kinds of beautiful books we can put in our collection. I really like Mark Twain and Lincoln and Civil War type books, but I love teaching my daughter about it. That's the most special thing.
A little advice from a professional.
Why is fiction not worth money? Because there's
So
much
many of them.
Really?
Yep.
Would you be buying, for example, signed books in fiction?
You only buy them if they're brand new,
I see.
because they drop really quick.
Really? And cookbooks would appreciate? Or just hold their value?
They hold their value. They don't really go up unless there's they didn't make a lot of them. Or...
George Martin comes here to pick up books for senior citizens and children.
We look for either history, classics, or some fiction. Okay, those 3 areas that we find, especially old fiction, because we're looking at people that are 60 or older that are looking for things, and then we've got some young things for the young kids.
There's good books. I like the selection here is one of the best in the region. It's good.
Would you recommend people to come to this sale?
Sure, certainly,
Why?
because there's great stuff here.
Art books, novels, foreign language books.
Really? Do you sell them or you just read them?
We read them and then we'll bring them back next year.
So you recycle?
Completely. This community is all about taking care of books. It's high quality.
How do you prevent yourself from just taking everything home like puppies?
It's hard. It is very hard. And the worst thing is buying a book and realizing you already have it at home.
Oh, I've
And
done
back
that.
it comes.
Exactly. Oh, I've done
I had
that.
a thrill the other day because we had an extra copy of The Goldfinch, which is a wonderful book that
Yes.
I read, and I asked Kathy or Dina if I could take it because we had a few copies, and I took it and I gave it to my mother who's 92, who lives in Hartsdale, and she was thrilled.
Oh, that's
and she
great.
said, "Oh, don't forget, I have to give you the $3." I said, "Okay, Mom."
We have a lot of autographed books here. So I want to explain a little something. We have an Arthur Miller here, which is boldly signed Arthur Miller. And we have 2 by Madeleine Albright. And this is interesting because this is signed on a book plate, which means that she probably got a stack of the book plates, and she may have never actually held the book. But it's nice to have one anyway. A very generous donor gave us a set of Kipling, which is not only a limited edition, but it is also signed by Rudyard Kipling, right here. So, Barbara Bush, and this again is on a plate. Henry Kissinger, who's actually the same donor that gave us another book, but this is signed to him. And people have to decide whether they want to get, this is Henry Kissinger's signature. We actually checked it online. So that is Henry Kissinger's signature.
So where does all the money go?
The money goes towards the library. You know, with all the new technology that's coming out and all the new and different ways to read and enjoy books, the library has to continually update and upgrade and you know, get the new technology that everyone in the community is using so that they stay relevant and stay as a good center of the community that people come and use on a continual basis.
How much did you raise last year approximately, do you know?
We raised over $50,000 last year.
Wow, that's a lot of books.
We're going to be undergoing a lot of renovations in the next few years, so the library is going to need the money.